Hello everybody on this big full moon. Here we are, here we go. The energies have been crazy, super intense, as you all know. And we are here to do a meditation, and specifically a world service meditation, which is always why we gather in groups, because our group energy has a wider effect and can connect to other group energies all around the world in these interesting times. Thinking about the souls of the nations, do you know that cities have a chart, right? Countries have a chart, a horoscope, and countries have a soul. And just like in all healing work, we talk about how to work with healing energy is you work from soul to soul, right? As opposed to the personality. Because my personality to the personality of the situation I'm aware of or the person I'm aware of will be triggered by personality things, right? So when you remember that you're working soul to soul, it liberates the possibilities of miraculous healings when you work at the level of the soul. And so that's a teaching, right, in its own right, all by itself, that you can kind of feel and sense as I say it. A lot of you have been working with me for a long time. And last new moon, I had a meditation class, and I was talking a lot about world service meditation. What is service meditation compared to regular meditation? The normal meditations that we talk about, and there's 5 kinds. One is relaxation meditation, right? Relax your body, relax your arms, relax your legs, relax your breath, right? And then the next one is visualization meditation, which is when you start to imagine scenarios. Imagine yourself in a beautiful and safe place, right? And these things layer upon each other because first you need to relax the body in order for you to visualize, right? And then you learn to visualize where you can start to work with energies and imaginary visuals so that you can create a state, right? And then the next kind of meditation is concentration or concentrative meditation, where you're focusing on an object like a candle or on a wall or on a thing, a flower, right? Or you're even, as it gets more advanced, you start to work in more subtle things like sacred geometries inside your own consciousness, where you start to work with shapes and light, right? But that's still in kind of under the umbrella of concentrative meditation. And then it goes to kind of pure meditation, right? The silence, where the soul is in meditation deep, and you meet yourself at that level. And then finally, it's service meditation. And all those things layer upon each other to more and more depth of meditation, where you're not just getting it for yourself, you're giving it away as a service. So that's what we're doing when we meet like this in a group. Is very powerful when 2 or more are gathered, right? There's potency and quality of consciousness. And that's why even wherever we are around the globe, and there's people from all over here, we're contributing something to this. Can you feel that? Right? And so we have to sort of organize ourselves, even in watching something on Zoom or on Facebook, right? Because there's a responsibility that comes with that is a quality of consciousness. A quality of consciousness, and we're bringing that. And each of us is bringing that. And you can feel in this room, as we're feeling each other, whether you can see each other or not, or you're just seeing me, but there's many people that are here and beyond here, on Facebook too, and on YouTube too, and around the world that are also meditating, that aren't connected to this at all, that our note that we're each of us bringing makes a difference. And I can feel tonight the organization of awareness that's sitting with me tonight. So thank you for that. Thank you for being present in the way that you are. Now you can imagine being in a Zoom room, and I bet a lot of you have done it as teachers, where, their screens are black or they're watching TV while they're working in the classroom. There's people are talking to each other in the background. All kinds of things are happening, but you can feel that this is very different because everyone is present, right? You can see that, you can sense that. Even if you can't see it, you can sense it. And that matters because as we are not in chaos ourselves, we're adding organization, we're adding order instead of more chaos by our own chaos, right? We're chaotic. And then we go into a room and then it's chaotic with us and we're bouncing off each other. Or, right? We make the note. We sound the note and we are all resonating to that same note. So I really can feel you all doing that tonight because I think you're all knowing that the times are needing this right now, right? They need us to be present. They need us. The world, our lives are calling us, right, to attention, to pay attention. And then how do we pay attention, right? To pay attention in consciousness, not in reaction. To pay attention. And I love the word with attention, the word attend, right? To attend something, like attend a ceremony or to attend a birth, right? We attend it with awareness. We sit in a consciousness that is not disruptive, right? Or disharmonious to the thing that is happening. So I really feel you all there like that. I thought I'd start talking a little bit about, I called this moon, which is also, by the way, exact tonight, which is really tomorrow, just after midnight at 12:17 tonight. It's exact. And I've been calling this the questing moon. That's my own title for it. So here we are, and some of you that know about this, don't worry if you don't, we're not going to spend a lot of time on this. But we're looking at the full moon, which here's the moon, 27 Virgo. Here's the sun, 27 Virgo, of course, exactly opposed. We have a huge stellium in Pisces, Sun, Neptune, Jupiter, Mercury, right? So that's a huge stellium of huge important planets. Sun, yourself, the energy of the times. Neptune, our dream, our inner visions, our dreams coming true. With Jupiter, blessings and abundance and healing and consciousness. With Mercury, speaking it, right? All that Piscean, and it's all in that dreamy Piscean sign. And then and that's all opposing the moon. And so the moon is in Virgo, and we'll talk about that because the full moon is in Virgo, right? And then the other thing that's unique is we've got also Mars, Venus, and Saturn conjunct in Aquarius. So we have these two very different energies of 4 planets in Pisces, 3 planets in Aquarius. There's only 10 lights, we call them. So 7 of them are in a stellium. So that's really strong. And Aquarius is the new and Pisces is the old, right? And so you've got the ancient and the future coming together in a way, right? And this huge stellium combination with Uranus, the planet that's been the upheaval that we've been all dealing with hugely for the last 2.5 years, squaring Saturn, squaring Venus, squaring Mars right now. So there's a lot going on there that you can think about, and why I called it the questing moon is because I like that Sun conjunct Neptune. It's the vision quest, right? We're looking for the answer inside the dream. We're discovering our realizations inside the meditation, right? And starting to really use that ability that you get when you meditate every day. You start to have this part of you that you can absolutely count on to come up and through all the noise of the world and of the life to have real insight, inner sight. So this full moon is in Virgo, and the word that I would give to Virgo is real, right? It's the real thing. It's the fact. It's the data. It's the information, right? It's the truth. And I wrote down the words real, reality, realistic, right? Realization, right? Making a inner knowing real and manifest in the life. Because Virgo is about real. I saw today, I love the blogger called Seth Godin. And I've often am posting things by him because but he's a business blogger actually. And he's just such a spiritual perspective, even though I don't think he means to have that. But he so many times talks about things from that perspective. And today I was reading him and he said this, I'll read it to it. It says, if we had to examine everything about your work and about who you were, your impact, your reputation, what would be the positive caricature we would draw? The positive caricature would we draw? How would we sum ourselves up? What would be our logo, right? Like, what would people say about us in a way? What sorts of slogans, banners, and greetings would we use to celebrate us? And I thought it was such an interesting question. And I thought, if I had a logo or I had a purpose, like what's my mission statement in a way? Probably, well, there's several, but one of them is love, right? Always. Love one another. Love as an action, love as a verb, love as a concept, love as an intention in that using love way. But the next concept that I would put with that is to be real, to be yourself. Like, and so much of the time we're always rejecting ourselves because we're judging ourselves, and so there's no joy in the knowing of ourself often because there's so much self-rejection there. So letting yourself be real so that you can be yourself, so that you can accept yourself, which all those things are together, so that you can be self-aware, right? Because if I don't like myself or I won't accept myself, then I'm in constant rejection. And if I'm in constant rejection, then how do I meditate? How can I trust my own alignment in a way? How can I find if I don't matter or who I am is wrong or not good? Then how is it that I can trust that inner voice, which is who I am and who you are? And so when we're meditating, we're linking the soul with the self. We're linking it up on purpose, right? We're bringing them together as an intention so that you can start to trust yourself, and it begins to override the ego's monopoly, of this is who you are, this is why you're good, this is what's important about you. And it doesn't know. It's just in competition. It's just trying to win. It's just trying not to lose, right? It's not there for the joy of essential being and of service and of love. It's there trying to get all the marbles, right? And all the power and all the love, right? And so when you're meditating, you're linking that up with yourself, with your soul in a conscious way, which creates this ambiance of kindness, of grace, of goodness, and allowing that goodness to shine through, rather than almost feeling ashamed of your sweetness, ashamed of your innocence, ashamed of the way that you are. We start to accept ourselves. And so Virgo moon, right? It's about the facts, Jack. Just tell me the facts, like what's actually true. So if you had to write, or you had to share, what is it about you, right? What is it about you that makes you who you are? That's your motto, that is your anthem inside, your inner anthem, right? Like what would it be? And it's in your guiding light, right, of your life. What guides you, what draws you, what calls you to be that you? and to share that you, and to not have shame about that essence of you, but recognize the gift of it, and the beauty of it, and the joy of it, and the grace of that. And so, Virgo full moon is about the day-to-day routines, what you do every day, how you run yourself, right? If you take a walk every day, like those kinds of things, simple things like that, how you eat, what you eat, like the everyday things of life, all the routines of our life and the ethics of our life, which are, this is the kind of person I am. I'm going to tell you the truth, right? I'm going to come from my heart no matter what. I make that choice every day. That's my routine. But that's also my discipline, right? That's also my discipling. I make that my goal in a way. Every single minute, every single breath, every single day, every single year. And so there's a consistency, that's a routine, right? That consistency that in this situation I'm not going to behave like a different person. I'm not going to change all my values when it comes to money. I'm not going to change all my morality when it's competitive, right? I'm going to remain in that love. I'm going to remain in that ethic. I'm going to practice my philosophy as a real, everyday, routine thing. And so now that routine can be trusted. Just like if you exercise, you know how people that exercise every day on purpose, right? And a lot of people do. And when you don't, you feel off, kind of, right? You feel fluffy, and when you do, you can feel that, inside. It's a routine and you can count on it. And even though it will change in your life, how you do that routine might be different when you're 18 than when you're 80. But there's still this ethic, though, of movement, let's say, or the ethic of singing, or the ethic of speaking consciously, right? We take these on as practices, as parts of ourselves that we're practicing all our life long, because there's no end point. We just keep expanding who we are and what we're offering and what we're realizing in ourselves, that there's always more and more and more and more, right? So it just keeps being this lifelong offering. So in these times of discipline, I want to say, it's a time, I think, for us all to be conscious, right, of what energy are we putting out. And that's kind of how I started off talking about how the room was very organized tonight. Like there's already an awareness of that because it is a full moon in Virgo. We are responsible for our energy. Our energy is affecting everyone. Our energy is affecting ourselves. And it's going beyond ourselves, in our neighborhood and in our city that we live in and in our world that we're swimming together in. And so that ethic, right, to practice, to be present, to be conscious as a choice. I choose to be conscious, right? I choose that. And so the thing I want to use in our meditation tonight is the idea of, which I shared in the last meditation I did, this concept of to always hold the highest point possible at all times, about situations, about people, about things you're aware of internally, about yourself, right? And so that it doesn't get belabored or heavy with our with feeling like we can't, that we still keep trying, lifting up out of as our practice. Right? So to always hold the highest point possible at all times. When somebody's telling you something scary, or somebody's telling you something intense, or you saw something, or you know of something, and you're going, oh no. Now that doesn't mean that you might not be saying that to yourself, oh no, right? That compassion or that real, seeing what's actually happening is shocking sometimes in situations in the world. And still, though, you hold the highest point possible at all times. as best as we can, right? And that's that thing of, to me, spiritual approach is, it's not this or that. You got to be a realist. You got to look at what's really happening, right? Or I'm going to hold this in the highest place possible. These things don't live separately. They live together. They're part of one and the same. So I look realistically at it, and I know its well-being simultaneously. That's this, the Vesca Piscis, right? It makes that beautiful fish in the center, right? That beautiful line. That is the blending of, rather than I have to be a realist, I have to meditate and hold. All are happening together. And that's what we're going to do inside our meditation when we move into it. So it really is a practice, because we tend to be this way or that way, right? Black or white. And we don't know always, because it's not that easy to do. How do you hold the pairs of opposites? How do you look at something hard to look at and still know its well-being, which is really important, let's say in a birth, when a baby's being born, to not panic, to not be afraid for, but to know, the miracle that's happening in front of you, right? And that'll keep you calmer in the moment, in the emergency, if there is one, to stay calm and steady and have your mind with you in order to respond to whatever the conditions might be, because you're knowing and seeing and being in the reality and knowing what something can be all at the same time. So this is a big thought. So the other thing I want to talk about before we go into the meditation is, I think I'll use this to go into the meditation with, actually. And it's a prayer. It's a Buddhist prayer on forgiveness. And I'm just going to read it. It goes like this. So kind of think, sort of almost say it with me inside yourself, You probably have heard this. It's such a powerful one. If I have harmed anyone in any way, either knowingly or unknowingly, through my own confusions, I ask their forgiveness. If I have harmed anyone in any way, either knowingly or unknowingly, through my own confusions, I ask their forgiveness. If anyone has harmed me in any way, either knowingly or unknowingly, through their own confusions, I forgive them. If anyone has harmed me in any way, either knowingly or unknowingly, through their own confusions, I forgive them. And if there is a situation I am not ready yet to forgive, I forgive myself for that. For all the ways that I harm myself, negate, doubt, belittle myself, judge, or be unkind to myself through my own confusions, I forgive myself. It's a big, big prayer, very deep. And we're going to use that to go into the meditation now. So when you're ready to, if you have a candle, light it. If you don't, just do it mentally. Okay, ready? So taking that, I forgive everybody for everything, I forgive myself for everything, consciousness. So you're clearing the field around you by emptying the resentment out and emptying the unworthiness out, by recognizing your essence, by realizing that you are doing the best you can, giving everything you understand, and that we all are. And that's why I like that phrase that they use, either knowingly or unknowingly, through their own confusions or my own confusions, right? It's out of not knowing that harm happens, right? We think we need to win. We think we need to be the most popular. We think we need to get all the money. We think we need everything that we think we need, right? But that's our confusions because we forget that we're soul. So I and the soul are one. And so let's start, as we go into the meditation, just close your eyes. And start with just saying inside yourself this very big, powerful, difficult mantra. I forgive myself for everything. I forgive myself for everything. I forgive everyone for everything. We're using it. We're using this mantra that says, but, and still, I forgive myself for everything. I forgive everybody for everything. Om. I forgive myself for everything. I forgive everyone for everything. I forgive myself for everything. And you're clearing the fields. You're clearing the fields of your own self-betrayal, your own doubts, your own fears. You're clearing it. I forgive myself for everything. I forgive everyone for everything. Practicing using that in the background as a new kind of mantra that's working through you all the time with every breath you take, breathing it in and breathing it out, and aligning yourself to the heart center now. Sensing all the other hearts, all the other loves, all the other light around the planet that we are interconnected with, all the brand new ones that are just coming in, all the ones that are here, all the ones that are not here anymore, that are still bringing in lights and consciousness and love. All of it, it's big. Heart to heart to heart. Sensing your place in all of this. To begin to let yourself be love, be loved, beloved, connecting to that pure love of the soul that is in meditation deep, always, infinitely, lifetimes and lifetimes. And feeling now that heart opening in recognition of each other and yourself, and taking your seat in the cave center, in the heart of the head center, as pure consciousness, as pure consciousness. And even if you can just touch that idea form, pure consciousness, for a millisecond, it changes the vibrational pattern of how you think and how you be, how you live and how you breathe. I am pure consciousness. Om. Let that pureness vibrate through your being, through your brain, through your body. I am pure consciousness. And feel that soul presence that is always and fully aware of you. whether you are or not. It never loses you. We lose it sometimes, but it doesn't lose us. And making a conscious relationship, soul with self, right in this moment. Some of you have done this 1,000 times, 10,000 times. Some of you, this might be the first time you ever touched that consciously. Feel the ring of truth, the power of the soul in the life, through you, as you, reverberating, rippling out, radiating into the world as pure consciousness. And in that pure consciousness, there is pure peace. And in that pure peace, there is pure love. And in that pure love, there is pure light. And all of that is happening at the same time. And from that point, now, radiating out from you like a vast halo of light, organized light, out into the world. And we'll do some silence now using this phrase, mantra, to kind of hold the note. We hold as a united consciousness the spirit of peace. We hold as a united consciousness the spirit of peace. Take this with you into the silence now. The spirit of peace, Om. The spirit of peace, Om. The spirit of peace. Send it out into the world. The spirit of peace. And just let that continue. Offering, offering, offering pure peace. Let it keep running. Humming away in the pureness of that note. And while that's happening, sense for yourself just one small inner awareness of yourself, which is, if you could say it in a word, if you could know it in this moment, if you could understand the true and pure relationship between the soul and the self, and you are, what is the purpose of this lifetime? And let it sing back to you. In whatever way it will, by light, by sound, by breath. It's this, right? Love, something like that. Right? It's something like that. And just for a minute, let yourself have that remembering of the truth of that. And let it live in you as a knowing that is your heartbeat, that is your breath, that is your energetic signature, that when you walk into the space, or that you sit to meditate, or you stand in line at Trader Joe's, that there is this about you that is so. We all would have different words, and we would all have subtly different angles of it, but it would be of the same flower, you know? Different petals, same flower. Meanwhile, that peace, that abiding peace that is always there, radiating from you like light across our world to every place around the world. Peace, peace, peace. Om, peace. Om. Good. And then just gently breathing that peace in to your body and calming the body, the emotional heart, the mental body, of all its clutter and clang. And just let it get more and more still, taking all this with you out into the life, out into tomorrow, out into the future, creating the future. Peace. Om. Peace. Om. And when you're ready to, letting your breath get deeper and fuller. Until it starts to feel natural to transition out of this meditation. Good. Nice, thank you. Really, thank you. I feel you. The next full moon is April 15th, tax day. And the next meditation class is Thursday, March 31st. So if you're on my email list, you'll get a letter about that. You can join. I hope you do. And I hope you have a good month. This is in very powerful times we have been in, that we've been in for a long time now, and we're still in. And it's very important to keep holding the highest point possible at all times, as best we can, right? And if you want to put something in the chat about maybe a message you got inside the meditation, you can share it or not, whatever you like. I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm so grateful to be meditating in a group. Thank you for being part of it. And I'll see you next time.